Like any police officer, PFC Aaron Waddell has his gun and badge, but he also doesn't go anywhere without this, his body camera mounted to his sunglasses.
Whether it's a traffic stop or suspicious person, as long as we're out in public, I've got it on.
Waddell is among the 18 officers with the Laurel Police Department who are equipped with the cameras to record their interactions with the public.
I only see it as benefiting the officers. The only reason it's going to hurt you is if you do something you shouldn't, and if you do something you shouldn't, then you've got to deal with the consequences of that.
This is a video from one of the body cameras. A woman in a DUI case flees from police. The entire incident documented to use in court.
From what I understand, there was a complaint afterwards, and there was a complaint that the officers had assaulted her, the female that fled. And you can watch the entire video and see perfectly there was definitely no assault that occurred.
Chief Rich McLaughlin says these cameras are key to showing what's really happening during a call, and that oftentimes officers can be exonerated based on the video.
It's outstanding. It has been utilized in court testimony. It's been accepted in court. It's been utilized in defense of lawsuits. It has minimized the amount of use of force complaints.
The lightweight cameras are attached to glasses with a magnet. Officers turn them on whenever they have contact with the public.
Initially, it was perceived as a Big Brother effect, and that, you're just out to haunt me. You're going to watch everything I do. As the officers have realized the benefit of this, and that it's more beneficial than it is hazardous, they have accepted it, and in fact, they're lining up to get the next round of cameras.
At the end of their shift, the officers replace their equipment here on the docking station. The video from that day is automatically uploaded to a secure server. The officer can go back and review the video, but cannot delete it or change it in any way.
They said somebody was outside trying to harm her.
We went on a domestic call with Waddell. A woman claimed a person she knew was threatening her.
All right, come on over here for me. Step out of the grass.
The man was tracked down nearby and searched. The entire scene caught on Waddell's camera and could be used in court or if a complaint were to be filed. Laurel is leading the pack in getting these cameras. Big city departments, including D.C. police, now considering buying them.
I think it sets a pace. I mean, it's cutting edge. It's new technology. People, when we originally did it, were like, oh, you're crazy. Why are you doing this? Again, it's the wave of the future.
And they're getting international media attention.
And why is it important that everything is being recorded? Well,
News crews from as far away as France and Germany want to know about the program. The chief says having body cameras would have made a huge difference in Ferguson, where the shooting of an unarmed teen sparked days of riots, looting, and protests.
Well, I think it would have told the story, and there wouldn't be any hearsay. It would be what it is. Yeah, I absolutely think it would have made a difference.
In what way?
It would have recorded it from start to finish.
Darcy Spencer, Laurel TV.
I'm Marvie Barnes, and this is Laurel Community Spotlight. This show is all about giving back, told through the eyes of a Laurel girl who was really taking that lesson to heart at the tender age of 4. This is Penelope's story.
You want 1 or 2? 2.
4-year-old Penelope Derlewanger and her parents, Abby and Mike, are up early. They're getting ready for a very important day, Penelope's 5th birthday. What's better than, is 4 cooler or is 5 cooler?
5.
5 is way cooler, right? The family is having a big party for Penelope, complete with 2 ponies and tons of other fun. The one thing that won't be there are presents for Penelope. She doesn't want any. What do you want for your 5th birthday?
To raise money for the other kids that are sick.
So you're raising money for other kids? Why?
Because they're sick.
That's right. Penelope doesn't want a single gift. Instead, she wants all the money that guests would have spent on presents to go to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Her goal is $500.
We found out that it costs $500 to provide oxygen to a child for only 1 day at St. Jude. So the goal is $500 right now, which is only going to provide oxygen for 1 child for 1 day. but we do hope to exceed it and also raise awareness of just how expensive it is to take care of kids who are ill in situations like that.
This isn't the first time Penelope has gotten involved in helping others. A few years ago, she did a trike-a-thon and raised $1,010 for St. Jude's after seeing a picture of a little girl named Helen who was very ill.
Penelope to this day, this was probably a year and a half ago, Penelope to this day still talks about Helen all the time and how she wants to help Helen and how important that is.
When she isn't helping others, Penelope puts all of her pint-sized energy into having fun, tooling around in her fancy pink convertible that she spruced up and took to the Laurel Lions Club car show. While she was there, she won her first trophy as the fastest girl in the simulator.
Penelope was super excited to go and show off her car, and she won her very first trophy in life, so that was a major accomplishment for her and a really exciting day.
There will no doubt be many more trophies in Penelope's future, and even more people whose lives she'll change, like the soldier who came back from the war after losing both of his legs. Penelope saw his picture and helped raise $2,000 through the Homes for Troops program to make his house work for him. How does it make you feel when you help other people?
Happy?
Makes you happy?
We really don't have to do a lot. This is who she is, and I think she'd be that even if we didn't encourage it, because she really does truly care about other people a lot, and it means a lot to her to be able to help others.
At this young age, Penelope's parents may be the driving force behind her giving, but even though she's only 5, she is definitely in the driver's seat.
Mommy, Daddy says it's going to be a great idea to raise money for other kids and other people.
That's a good lesson to learn, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even little kids can do it, can't they?
Yeah.
That does it for this edition of Laurel Community Spotlight. I'm Audrey Barnes. If you'd like to find out more ways you can volunteer just like Penny, check out our website, cityoflaurel.org. We'll see you next time.
The criteria for this proposed special exception to have the House of Worship in an ICS is the same criteria that is contained in all of our residential districts. There is no difference. This is proposed to be heard by the Planning Commission tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock. That concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Brock. Now, Reverend, we'll finally get you up there. Thank you for coming, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Reverend Emmanuel Agambeda, Senior Pastor of Royal House Chapel, International, Maryland. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Mayor Greg Moe and the council staff for their committed support and helping us to understand the process of applying for the text amendment and how to make Laurel church home. I want to commend the mayor for dedicating the major part of his adult life to serving the city of Laurel. I specifically want to applaud you, Mayor, for the city projects you initiated during your tenure, especially the youth summer programs, employing young people between the ages of 14 and 16 years. I would like to also thank the distinguished council members for your service and your sacrifice for the city, and especially how you would like to connect the people of the city by the programs you introduce, like the bagels with the council and the council drop-in. Thank you very much for what you do for the city of Laurel. Royal House Chapel International is a community-based church. Our church currently is in the city of Hydesville. We have outgrown the space that we have over there, and we have about a third of our members live in the city of Laurel. So we came together and decided which area would we be able to have a home church. And we agreed that Laurel would be the right place, especially because we have a lot of our members living in the city of Laurel.
How do we keep runners motivated?
Well, it's setting a goal, and the biggest thing is going from race to race to race. So you set that one goal for time, and then you get a good time, and for most runners, they want to say, wow, I wonder if I can get a better time next race. So that's the goal, is to keep getting better and better as the race season progresses.
So as you get better and better, is there one set approach to training for running?
No one set approach. I mean, remember, just like with anything else, it's individualized. But run your own race. That's the most important thing. So if your race is just to walk, then you walk. Jog, then you jog, and you work your way up. But continue to set goals like Leona mentioned, and make sure you stay within something that's achievable for yourself.
Leon, I know you're going to show us some plyometric moves today.
Yes, plyometrics is good for explosiveness and speed. Most runners, they think about distance and getting that long mileage in, but plyometrics is going to work on the flexibility and the power part of your racing.
All right, and D'Angelo, what do you have in store for us?
We're going to focus on the strength building. I mean, running does involve some strength building, so we want to make sure that we support that with particularly working our underutilized muscles, so hamstrings, glutes, flexibility as well, but how to incorporate your gym workout to eventually your run.
All right, it's time to exercise, so lace up your running shoes and get started. Leona, you can go get set up for the plyometrics. D'Angelo, I have one more question for you. Sure. Can your legs be too heavy for racing?
Your body can be too heavy, absolutely. I've experienced that. A larger physique isn't built for long distances, certainly, but as long as you're managing your pain, so that's focusing on your recovery. Again, that's your diet. That's also massage, icing, elevation. Sounds simple, but it's very vitally important. And like I said, you want to manage, your distances. So for me, I'm a 5-10K guy. Every once in a while I'll do a longer distance, but nothing that's going to introduce a lot of impact on my knees, and even my shoulders can start to bother me. So yeah, you want to make sure you manage it well. Absolutely.
The massage part I can manage, but let's throw it over to Leona, who's going to show us some plyometric moves.
Hello, everybody. Just as Joyce Jackson said, we're going to work on some plyometric movements. Plyometrics are very important in running. It's good for explosiveness, for speed, especially when you're getting into the deeper parts of the race for you marathon runners, your 20-mile, 22, and 25 miles. So I have my training partner here, Darnell Strong Soul Murphy, who is actually a pro fighter. He's got his pro debut November 15th. So excited to have you here with us today, and we're going to get some workout on, okay?
Sounds good.
All right. One of the first movements that we're going to do is what we call a jump squat. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to show you in stages, and then we'll go through the movement, the complete movement afterwards. So the most important thing to realize is that it's more of a joint action. So you're going to come from your ankles to your knees to your hips, all of those joints working together. It's a very explosive movement. So first of all, Darnell, I want you to go ahead in a squat position. All right, he's going to keep his heels to the ground, arms elongated, pointed down to the ground for the explosive movement. The power is going to come from his quads. So as he powers down, springing up,
It's seen its share of dive bars, pizza parlors, and five and dimes. It's been home to an annual festival since 1981 that routinely draws crowds of over 100,000 people. This is Main Street, and while it may seem a little quieter than usual, make no mistake, it's still the heart of Laurel, Maryland. I'm Richard Friend, and this is Lost Laurel. What better place to start our historic tour of Main Street than here at the far end of it? We're at the corner of 9th and Main, where since 1996 this building has been home to the Laurel Museum. There's a good reason for that. It's the oldest house in Laurel. Originally a mill worker's house, some estimates date it as early as 1801, but most place its construction in the 1840s. Let's meet Laurel Historical Society board member Jean Levin, who can tell us more about the building's history.
The house we're in used to be a tenant house for the mill, which was that way, basically the pool footprint and further back. It was the home for 4 families. We're in one section now. This would have been for one entire family. And then on the other side 1, and then 2 upstairs. And then all 4 of their kitchens would have been in the basement. After that, it was a general, after that, it was other things for the mill, like a general store and other things. Well, we knew we wanted a house. We were ready. Several people in Laurel were very interested in preserving the history of Laurel, and so we started looking at what was available. Harrison Beard building was available. This was available, and I believe one other building that for right now I cannot remember. But after looking at, they were all in disrepair. and the city had all of them. And after looking at all of them, trying to make a decision which one to rehab, this one was the one that seemed to be the best one to renovate. So when we were getting to the renovations and ripping down the walls, one of the things they found was a ledger from the general store, which was really interesting, you know, we all know how much things were. We joke about how, you know, a loaf of bread was this much, but really seeing it with our own two eyes, with somebody physically writing in each thing and people's grocery list and what they were buying, and that was really interesting. When our last exhibit was the first time we showcased this property to be what it used to be. The original founders of the Historical Society and of the museum purposely didn't want it to just be a house museum. They wanted it to be all of Laurel. And so all of our exhibits over the years have been about all of historic Laurel.
The Laurel Museum continues to celebrate the Lost and Found Laurel exhibit. The museum added the found portion to the original project, which was intended to be a historic look at Laurel. The Found is a great way to highlight the new businesses emerging in the city. The Laurel Museum serves actually the greater Laurel area, which includes Howard and Anne Arundel counties. The museum has just hosted its 7th annual Taste of Laurel event, which brought out more than 250 residents this year. There is no admission for this event. Rather, this event serves as a canned food collection for our local LARS organization that provides assistance to those less fortunate. The Laurel Mill Playhouse had a sold-out event back-to-back for their version of the 1975 original play for colored girls who've considered suicide when the rainbow is enough. Laurel Playhouse owner and producer Maureen Rogers discussed the show and its success. She also gave us a tour of the Playhouse and discussed upcoming shows. Tickets for most shows are only $20 and a $15 discount for students and seniors. It's an affordable night out on the town. And a group of Main Street proprietors, local residents, and I also went to support the performance. Belle Aviv Jewelry will celebrate their 1-year anniversary on Main Street in this coming December. The shop owner, Victoria Bell, is talented beyond belief with jewelry making. All of her products are made with natural gemstones and crystals. Her customers are regulars. It is the original jewelry design and quality of the craft that they say keeps them coming back. Like all new businesses, she says the shop has great sale days and slower sale days, but she does plan to renew her lease for the next year. Grace Boutique had its grand store opening and ribbon cutting on Saturday, November 1st. Main Street is lucky to be graced with such a beautiful boutique, which carries everything a woman needs to be stylish, from casual to business, sassy, dressy, elegant, and with a prime location at the corner of 4th and Main Streets, the boutique owner, Audrey Sturdivant, has positioned her shop for high visibility and optimal success. When you enter her boutique, you feel welcome and at peace. And Audrey is truly a woman of grace. I am so happy to have her as my guest today. Audrey?
Well, thank you, Alicia, for the opportunity to come.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is a fun thing.
It is a fun thing. It is a fun thing.
And we certainly can use all the advertising we can get because, and I say that because a lot of people, when you look in the windows, you're sure of some things.
Right.
But you're not really sure of everything that's in the store.
Right.